was like, he started talking about love, and I'm looking at him like, why are you doing this? This is this man's birthday. But then he came.
What if the man who inspired millions with sermons of faith was hiding a secret that could destroy everything? Shaunie Henderson thought she knew her husband, Pastor Keion Henderson, a spiritual giant whose words lifted souls and built an empire. But when whispers of betrayal turned into undeniable truth, their picture-perfect life shattered in a scandal that's rocking Hollywood. Was it a single misstep or a double life hidden in plain sight? From luxury mansions to divided congregations, the fallout is explosive, and Shaunie's next move could rewrite their legacy. Every revelation pulls you deeper into a story of trust, heartbreak, and redemption that's stranger than fiction. Can a fallen leader rise again? Or will one woman's courage steal the spotlight? You won't believe what's coming. Stick around, because this twist changes everything. But Keion's wealth isn't just parked in his driveway. It's built into the ground he owns. His Houston mansion sprawls like a palace, complete with a pool that sparkles under Texas sun, a home theater for late-night escapes, and grounds that stretch wide enough to lose yourself in. Need a getaway? His Bahamas vacation home whispers luxury, a private paradise far from the chaos. And when it's time to travel, Keion doesn't queue up at airports. He's rumored to soar in a Gulfstream G650, a private jet that turns the sky into his personal highway. This isn't just living, it's thriving, and he's got the business chops to back it up. Beyond the pulpit, Keion's invested in real estate development, owning chunks of commercial properties that rake in steady cash. He's inked endorsement deals with big brands, turning his influence into income, and even owns a stake in a tech startup crafting faith-based apps, merging his mission with modern money-making. Here's the kicker. Keion's not just spending, he's protecting it all with a safety net of insurance. His health's covered with top-tier plans, ready for any curveballs. His properties, insured against storms and surprises, while those luxury cars roll under policies that match their million-dollar shine. Even his career's locked down with coverage, shielding his income if the spotlight dims. It's a masterclass in playing it smart, and there's plenty we can learn from it. Diversification's the name of his game. Ministry's just one piece. Real estate, tech, and collabs spread the risk and stack the rewards. Investing in assets like watches and properties that grow over time? That's his blueprint for lasting wealth. And ensuring it all means he's ready for the unexpected. Because even at the top, things can shift fast. Let's rewind for a second. Keion wasn't always this larger-than-life figure. He started as a preacher with a vision, building his ministry from the ground up, his charisma pulling crowds and his words turning heads. Back then, it was about impact, not income. Sermons in modest venues, not private jets. Compare that to now, where he's juggling a scandal that'd sink most, yet still steering a financial ship that's unsinkable. The affair Shaunie uncovered might have shaken his public image, but his wealth? Untouched, growing, a fortress he's fortified over years. It's a wild ride from pastor to powerhouse, and the contrast is stark. Once a man of humble means, now a mogul with a Midas touch. Shaunie's heartbreak might dominate the headlines, but Keion's luxury lifestyle keeps the conversation spinning. What's his next move? That's the million-dollar question, and with his track record, it's bound to be a big one. Picture a man who once held thousands spellbound with his words, now scrambling to hold on to the life he built. It's a twist no one saw coming. Shaunie Henderson's world flipped upside down when whispers of Pastor Keion Henderson's secret affair turned into a deafening roar. This isn't just a marriage unraveling. It's a seismic shock rocking a church, a community, and a carefully crafted empire. While Shaunie wrestles with the sting of betrayal, Keion's out there dodging headlines, his every move dissected by a public that once adored him. His congregation? Split down the middle, half clinging to hope, preaching grace, the other half feeling duped, their trust in his sermons fading fast. How does a pastor who preached integrity face a mess this tangled? The answer's still unfolding, and it's gripping. Rewind to Keion's glory days, and you'd see a man who turned faith into a fortune. From small-town pulpits to packed auditoriums, he built a ministry that didn't just inspire, it paid off big. His net worth sits around $10 million today, a leap from his modest start, fueled by sharp investments and a knack for branding. Real estate's his crown jewel, that Houston mansion, a $5 million masterpiece with marble floors and skyline views, plus a Bahamas retreat where turquoise waves lap at his doorstep. He's got commercial properties too, urban gold mines pulling in steady rents. Cars? He's rolled in style. A Bentley Continental purrs in his garage alongside a Porsche 911 Turbo, machines that scream power and prestige. On his wrist, a Richard Mille RM 11-03 glistens, a $200,000 flex next to his Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Private jets? He's chartered Gulfstreams for cross-country dashes, a taste of the high life that's now under a microscope. Could this luxury shield him, or is it just more weight dragging him down? Here's the gut punch. Shaunie believed in him, stood by him as he climbed, only to watch it all fracture in front of the world. She's not just hurting, she's trapped in a spotlight she never asked for, whispers trailing her every step. Social media's a circus, memes and hot takes piling on, while Keion's playing defense with statements that dodge more than they reveal. Why the vagueness? What's he hiding? His words meant to soothe only stoke the fire, leaving fans and critics alike picking apart the silence. Back in the church, it's chaos. Elders huddle in late-night meetings, torn between loyalty and the need to act. Some say he should step back, let the dust settle. Others want him to face the music. Attendance is dipping, donations are tanking, and the once unshakable foundation feels like quicksand. Can faith really fix this, or is it too late? Zoom out, and the stakes get wilder. Keion's not just a pastor, he's a businessman with a playbook that's kept his wealth soaring. Endorsements, speaking gigs, a slick app tying faith to tech. It's a machine that's minted millions. Projections had him hitting $20 million in a decade. But now, sponsors are ghosting, gigs are canceled, and that app's downloads are stalling. The affair's a wrecking ball smashing through his financial fortress. Leaked messages and new voices, women saying he spun tales of separation, pile on the proof, eroding his last defenders. He stepped down, calling it reflection, but it feels more like retreat. Is he plotting a comeback, or just buying time? Shaunie, meanwhile, sifts through the wreckage, her pain raw, her future uncertain. She backed a dream that became a nightmare, and the world's watching her next move. Buckle up, because this roller coaster's far from over. Keion's empire, once a beacon of triumph, teeters as the fallout spreads. The church he built might survive, but without him at the helm, it's a gamble. His luxury life, from jet-set escapes to that gleaming watch collection, now looks like a taunt against the chaos. Shaunie's resilience shines through the haze, but the scars run deep. The congregation's divided, the media's relentless, and every day brings a new twist. Will Keion rise from this, reinvent himself, or fade into a cautionary tale? One thing's clear. This isn't the end. It's the edge of something bigger, and we're all waiting to see what breaks next. Imagine a woman standing tall in the eye of a storm, her world shattered, yet her spirit unbroken. That's Shaunie Henderson, navigating the fallout of Pastor Keion Henderson's hidden affair with a grace that demands respect. The scandal that rocked their marriage has spiraled into a crisis that's tearing at the seams of Keion's ministry, his reputation, and the faith of those who once hung on his every word. Shaunie's not just fighting for her heart, she's rediscovering who she is after years of being the pastor's wife, a role that defined her public life. Meanwhile, Keion's scrambling to salvage an empire built on sermons and trust, now crumbling under the weight of his own choices. The church is a battleground, divided between those who preach forgiveness and those who feel betrayed. What happens when a leader falls and the woman beside him rises? Let's dive into the drama that's got everyone talking. Shaunie's journey is a masterclass in resilience, but it's not without pain. She was once the backbone of Keion's rise, cheering him on as he transformed from a local preacher to a national figure. his charisma filling pews and bank accounts alike. Back then, their love was a storybook. Shared dreams, red carpet moments, a partnership that seemed unshakable. Now, she's picking up the pieces of that dream, her every move watched by a world that can't look away. Social media buzzes with opinions, some urging her to forgive, others cheering her to walk away. But Shaunie's not swayed by the noise. She's weighing her options, her strength a quiet force. Divorce seems like the likely path, but it's not just about signing papers. It's about reclaiming her identity. Can she step out of Keion's shadow and shine on her own? That's the question keeping us glued. Keion, on the other hand, is fighting a war on multiple fronts. His ministry, once a beacon of hope, is hemorrhaging trust. His net worth, pegged at $10 million, grew from book deals, speaking tours, and a savvy real estate portfolio. Think a $3 million Dallas penthouse with city views, a Miami condo for weekend escapes, and commercial lots that churn out passive income. He's cruised in a Ferrari 488 Spider, its roar matching his bold persona, and a Cartier Santos watch gleams on his wrist, a $15,000 nod to timeless style. Private jet charters? Standard for his coast-to-coast hustle. But now, with sponsors pulling back and church donations drying up, that wealth's under threat. Projections once saw him doubling his fortune, but the scandal's a wild card. Will it stall his empire, or can he pivot? His vague statements asking for privacy only fan the flames, leaving followers hungry for clarity. Why won't he face the truth head-on? The church is where this saga cuts deepest. Keion's sermons once united thousands, his words a lifeline for the struggling. Now, his congregation split. Some see him as human, deserving of grace, arguing faith is about redemption, not perfection. Others feel deceived, questioning every lesson he preached. If he could betray Shaunie, what else was a lie? Elders are in a bind, locked in tense meetings. Some push for Keion to step aside, letting the dust settle. Others argue he should confront the mess publicly, rebuild trust from the pulpit. Delay only deepens the divide, with attendance dwindling and whispers growing louder. The media's relentless, turning Keion's life into a 24/7 headline. Reporters dig for dirt, rumors snowball, and every detail's a spectacle. Can a church survive when its leaders' flaws are laid bare? That's the heart of this storm. Shaunie's pain is the pulse of this story, but her strength is its soul. She's not just a wronged wife, she's a woman redefining her future, her dignity intact despite the public glare. Keion's fall, from a pastor who inspired to a man dodging accountability, raises bigger questions about faith, trust, and second chances. His luxury life, from that Dallas penthouse to his Ferrari's purr, feels like a distant echo against the chaos. The congregation's loyalty hangs by a thread, and the church's future teeters. Shaunie's next move, forgive or forge ahead alone, will shape not just her path, but the narrative of this saga. Will she rise as a beacon of independence, or will Keion find a way to redeem himself? The world's watching, and the next chapter is going to be a game changer. Hold on to your seats, because the saga of Shaunie Henderson and Pastor Keion Henderson is racing toward a finale that's as gripping as it gets. Shaunie's standing at a crossroads, her heart bruised but her resolve unbreakable, ready to redefine her life after Keion's shattering affair. This isn't just a personal reckoning, it's a public spectacle shaking the foundations of Keion's ministry and the loyalty of his followers. The world's watching, dissecting every move as Shaunie weighs walking away for good, and Keion fights to claw back a career teetering on the edge. Will she rise as a phoenix, or will he find redemption? The stakes are sky high, and the answers are just out of reach, pulling us deeper into this Hollywood whirlwind. Shaunie's strength is the heartbeat of this story, a testament to a woman who's been through the ringer and still shines. Once she was Keion's biggest cheerleader, her poise and support elevating his rise from local pastor to a faith leader with a $10 million empire. Their life was a highlight reel. Glamorous events, shared dreams, a love that seemed bulletproof. Now she's navigating a betrayal that's not just personal B, but plastered across headlines. Sources say she's consulting legal experts, prepping for a divorce that could untangle their shared assets, like that $4 million Atlanta estate with its sprawling gardens and a Napa Valley vineyard retreat valued at $2 million. Her focus isn't just financial, it's about reclaiming her narrative. Can she silence the noise and carve out a new chapter? That's the spark keeping us hooked. Keion's world, meanwhile, is a high-wire act. His wealth, built on a ministry that packed arenas, real estate savvy, and a faith-based app, is taking hits. His $10 million net worth, fueled by a Tesla Model S Plaid for eco-chic drives, a Vacheron Constantin overseas watch worth $50,000 and jet charters for global sermons, faces a shaky future. Sponsors are gone, his app's downloads are tanking, and his commercial properties like a $3 million Houston office complex are under scrutiny. Insurance has been his shield, comprehensive health plans, asset protection for his real estate, and career policies to cushion a fall. But money can't buy trust, and his vague apologies aren't cutting it. His congregation's torn. Some preach grace, citing his past as a guide through tough times, while others see a hypocrite who preached values he couldn't live. Will his next move save him or seal his fate? The ripple effects are seismic, touching everyone from their kids to Keion's inner circle. Shaunie's shielding her children, knowing the pain of a parent's fall leaves scars no media blackout can erase. How do you explain betrayal to young hearts? She's leaning on friends like Evelyn Lozada, whose cryptic posts about self-worth scream solidarity. Other stars, from reality TV queens to industry insiders, rally around Shaunie while whispers hint Keion's past wasn't spotless. Rumors of earlier missteps swirl, suggesting a pattern. His mentors and allies face a dilemma: stand by him or step back. Loyalty's a tightrope when integrity is at stake. The church, once a sanctuary, is a pressure cooker. Elders debate his fate, attendance wanes, and every sermon feels like a test. Can faith heal a wound this deep, or is the divide too wide? Here's the clincher. This isn't the end, it's a launch pad. Shaunie's diving into projects that light her up, from producing to philanthropy, proving she's more than a pastor's wife. Her financial lessons are gold. Diversify income, protect assets, and never let someone else define your worth. Keion's path is murkier. Redemption's possible, but it demands raw honesty. Actions, not just words. His luxury life, from that Napa retreat to his Tesla's sleek lines, feels hollow against the chaos. The media's relentless, fans are divided, and every day brings a new twist. Shaunie's poised to soar, her independence a beacon, while Keion's fighting to prove he's more than his mistakes. Their story's a mirror, showing the cost of betrayal, the power of resilience, and the hope of starting over. What's their next chapter? One thing's certain, it's going to leave us all speechless.